5.7 Inverse trig of common angles. Find all angles between 0 and 360 degrees that solve the following equations. First one is sine of what angle would be a half. So you can think through this in your head with the triangles. Let's say I have a triangle, let's put theta here, and I want the opposite over the hypotenuse. I shouldn't make that something. 1 over, let's just do 1/2 like this. I'm hoping you remember that sine, or the y value of a 30 degree. Sorry, that's really messy. But if my angle is here, I can remember that across from the smallest angle is the shortest leg. And remember, a half is 0.5 as a decimal. And then the longer leg is square root of 3 over 2. That goes back to our special right triangle rules. And so I can remember that sine of a 30 is a half. The opposite, or the y value, or the height of the triangle, is 1/2 in a 30. So that would be a 30 degree. But because this is positive, I got to think about where else is sine a positive value. And that goes back to thinking, okay, well, that's the y, so that would be here in quadrant 1 and here in quadrant 2. And so my reference angle is 30. To figure out this, I want to go 180 minus 30, which would be 150. Okay, if you don't like that, again, you can pull up your unit circle and you're finding where are the y values a half. That would be right here at 30, and then that would mirror image here at 150. Okay, so up to you. On cosine of what angle is, let's just think about square root of 3 over 2. That's where is the adjacent leg longer. That would actually be the same triangle again, right? So of a 30, the adjacent leg would be across from the 60, which is going to be longer. So that's a 30. So you could think of that. But we're a negative. And negative cosine happens in quadrants, when we're to the left, quadrants 2 and 3. And so we would think about where that happens. In quadrant 2, you would have your 180 minus 30. In quadrant 3, you would have 180 plus 30. So we would get 150 and 210. So that's how to figure out without this. With this, I would find where x is negative square roots of 3 over 2, which is here and here at 150 and 210. Okay, and then tangent. Tangent of what angle is -1? Well, I remember tangent being 1. Remember, it's a ratio of y to x when it's an isosceles triangle, when it's a 45, 45, 90. So my reference angle here is a 45. But tangent's negative, and tangent's going to be negative in quadrant 2 and 4. So to find quadrant 2's angle, I would have 180 minus 45, and in quadrant 4, I would have 360 minus 45. Or look on this and find where was tangent. Well, I guess we don't have it written down. But this y divided by this x would be a -1 at 135. And then it would be here. You could follow it across. This would be at 315.